Transfiguration Sunday. That is what today is. And it's so important that we, as a church, celebrate it every year. The time that we celebrate God's glory as seen in the face of Jesus. That's what Transfiguration Sunday is all about. I wonder if you know what season next Sunday will be. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. I'd like to invite anybody who'd like to come closer to the story to do so now.
It's a hill. It's a hill.
Oh.
It's a hill. You go down to the hill. It's a hill. Go down. It's a hill.
Good to have you back.
Not yet.
Oh, nice and green.
It is. Jesus and his disciples were traveling. They were traveling all around the countryside and in villages. And Jesus was teaching. He was turning water into wine. He was healing people. He was calming the waters. He was even telling parables.
Yay. Peppers.
But people still didn't understand who he was. They still didn't understand why he was doing what he was doing. And so Jesus asked his disciples. He said, "Who do people say that I am?" And the disciples answered, "Some say that you are John the Baptist, maybe Elijah the prophet." And Jesus looked at Peter. And he said, "But Peter, who do you say that I am?" And Peter answered, "You are the Christ." "Ah, Peter," replied Jesus, "Oh, yes, you are blessed, for God has shown you who I truly am." And then Jesus talked to all of the disciples, and he explained that one day he would be going soon to Jerusalem, to the Passover feast. There he would be killed. But he would rise again in 3 days. And the disciples, they were confused. They didn't believe him. They didn't understand what he was talking about. He continued to teach them for 6 more days. And then Jesus invited Peter, John, and James to go with him to a high mountain. Jesus wanted to spend time alone with God. And up the mountain they went. Can you make sure that he doesn't fall down? Thank you. And the disciples followed Jesus. Suddenly, the face of Jesus shone bright like the sun, and his clothes became a dazzling white. And beside him stood Elijah the prophet, and Moses. The disciples, they were frightened by this. They didn't understand. How can this be? And Peter said, I will build a tent for all of you to stay. Suddenly there was a voice. The voice said, this is my son. This is my son. Listen to him. Oh, the disciples, they were frightened by this. They were so frightened. But Jesus said, it's okay. Follow me. But Jesus also said to the disciples, don't tell anybody what you've seen here today. I wonder what... Remember, Jesus said, listen to him. This is my son. Listen to him. And Jesus said to the disciples, no, it's okay. Don't be frightened. Follow me. But don't tell anybody what you have seen today. I wonder, what do you wonder about? What's your favorite part of the story?
I like that part.
You like the part where Jesus is at the top speaking to God? I wonder, why did Jesus pick these disciples? I also wonder, why did God say, listen, and Jesus told the disciples not to talk about what they had seen? I wonder about that. We're going to pack up our story, and we're going to be joined downstairs, maybe by some of the other children.